Welcome in, everyone. We are back after a little hiatus from the videos. Um, we have wrapped up the regular season. Um, we're looking forward to the playoffs. We actually had a team sneak in kind of unnoticed. Didn't even know he was going to be in the playoffs until I looked at the standings actually today and realized that Michael had made the playoffs. So congrats, Michael, on sneaking in there by 3.5 points, which is pretty crazy that was that close between Trent and Michael. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the season here. Yeah, we had the Arlington Taxpayers finish at 6-14-1 with 1,464 points scored, putting them second to last. The Rally Birds finished at 8-13 with 1,453 points, making them last in the league in points. The Hormones with Clubs also finished 8-13, 1,585 points. Newt in my Pujols here missed the playoffs at 10-11 with 1,620.5 points scored. Then our playoff teams, we have the 6 seed, the Faggot Obliterators, and Michael, and 1,624 points. The Mississippi Ninja Chickens sneak in here at 10-10-1, 1,547 points. The Anonymous Gamblers, just shy of the highest scoring team in the league, finished the season at 11-10-1 with 1,781.5 points. Third seed is Mike, Bix, Dogs, and Ryan, 12-9, 1,566.5 points. The Broken Bat Bombers of Parker Lutz finished at 13-8 with 1,578 points scored. Crazy that they were 13-8 with that amount of points scored. And then Turbo Turds, 1,783.5 points. I would say that, looking back from the beginning of the season, definitely some teams that kind of surprised me. Finished up at the top, and the teams that I actually expected to do a little better struggled. I'm not sure if it was, how the schedule played out necessarily, or just some of the teams weren't as potent as what I thought they might be. Caleb's team with the Hormones of Club was a team that I actually felt really strongly at the beginning of the season was going to be a really good team. Jordan Alvarez never got off to the start that we had hoped. I don't even know who else he had at the beginning of the season, but yeah, Jordan was just not good this year. And he didn't really have a top 10 player besides Fernando Tatis. I mean, Schwarber has had a great year, but some of these guys, I mean, he didn't have a ton of depth, and that really hurt him in the end. Let's go back here. And then, yeah, the Rally Birds, I think I had in the 4 spot. Ended up, Trout stayed relatively healthy most of the year. Had a couple injury stints. Soto ended up turning it around, but really also just lacked the depth. Some of the A's players kind of fell off as the year went on. Brendan Donovan spent most of the season on the IL, it seems like, off and on. And just could never get consistent with guys in his lineup producing. So the strategy of, going for guys that had a bunch of base hits did not play out well this year, especially when there's guys, hitting close to 40 bombs. I think probably Soto or Trout's probably leading our team in homers, maybe Soderstrom. I don't know. Haven't really looked that closely, but I'm sure I could actually look here. Soto has 35, and then, yeah, everybody else is kind of in that 30 to 20-ish range. I mean, actually, some of those guys are a lot lower, but yeah, it just didn't play out how I thought maybe it would go in my head. But yeah, that my team definitely struggled throughout the year. Yeah, Newton, my Pujols missing the playoffs here was kind of shocking to me. I felt like they were a lock going into last week, but yeah, I mean, point wise, right up there, very capable of being in the playoffs. It just fell short. Um, you look kind of here at Machado having a really nice season. Um, Currently 24th in total points. Jose Ramirez top 15. Lindor top 15. But then this is where he struggled. He couldn't really find those last three guys that could stay healthy. Corey Seager hurt off and on through the year. Kyle Stowers hurt. And then, yeah, Bregman, I know, who got off to a flaming hot start for him, ended up missing most of the season. So it's tough, you know, tough season for Trent. But ultimately felt like his team was good enough to be in the playoffs and just fell short. All right, let's get into the. Oh, and yes, we have the taxpayers. I'm sure they're going to say that they deserve to be higher than me in any rankings that we do. But fact of the matter is, they finished 6-14. Yes, they outscored me by a total of 11 points, but they lost. Well, they lost one more game than me and had two less wins. So the Arlington Taxpayers are coming in 10, where I had them ranked to begin the year. So here's our six playoff teams. We have the Turbo Turds on a bye this week, and the Broken Bat Bombers, who are on a bye as well. We have in the quarterfinal on the top side, we have the Anonymous Gamblers and the Mississippi Ninja Chickens. The Gamblers already off to a 9-4 start, and Mike Bick's Dogs versus Michael. 18 points already from Michael. Holy smokes, what did he have happen today? Looks like a lot of dingers. Harper, Adamas, Devers. Yeah, he's had a hot start already. So Ryan's gonna have to make up some ground, I think, this week. But yeah, I expect here, kind of expect the Anonymous Gamblers to take this one. Would love to see a Turbo and Gamblers matchup, and then after that start, I'm going to go with Michael. But prior to that, I might have taken Ryan going into the following week. But yeah, let's take a look at each of these teams here a little bit, kind of break down. We'll start with let's start with the 6th seed here, and Michael. Yeah, you look at this team; it is still very good. Guerrero has had a great season. It's like top 30 season. Rosarina top 30 season. Devers top 10 season. And Profar has been good when he's not been suspended. And yeah, Adamas has been solid. Can't go wrong. He doesn't really have a true bopper. All these guys are 20 to 30 homer guys. But somehow he snuck into the playoffs and already off to a hot start. So I think Michael's team definitely. I don't think that they're a team that can make a run for a championship necessarily, but I think that they can maybe win this first round, and if they get hot, they could see themselves in the championship, but I wouldn't expect it. Moving on here, let's go to the 5 seed in the Ninja Chickens. The Ninja Chickens, the season so far, yeah, they've had a big pickup here in Roman Anthony, who's been very good since getting called up. He's already got 8 bombs. I think he got called up in July. Yelich has kind of had a comeback season here. He's top 40, which I know is definitely below where he was drafted. Suzuki's had a great season, top 30. Duran's top 30. And Kyle Tucker, who got off to an amazing start, kind of fell off as the season went on. But he's currently still a top 30 player. And kind of in a similar situation, not necessarily big boppers, but guys that have hit a ton of doubles this year, and guys that have had a high walk percentage. You look at Tucker here, 86 walks on the year, and 80 singles. I mean, that's what you love seeing from a guy you drafted in the first 2 rounds. Um, but ultimately, yeah, he lost Austin Riley in the middle of the season. I don't think he's coming back this year. And he really is, these 6 players. I mean, yeah, Josh Naylor's had a decent season, and Kerry Carpenter is still a solid player, but Volpe's nothing great. The Ninja Chickens, I mean, I could see them as well, kind of in a similar spot as Michael. I don't expect them to win. Kind of going as an underdog going into this, but a good week can happen, and if they can make it beyond this first round, I think that should be a win for this team, and they should feel really good about that. But we'll see where this week shakes out. I don't necessarily see that happening, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Going up to the number 4 seed in Anonymous Gamblers. Um, yeah, this team is had some breakout players. Um, you still have Otani at the top, which is as good as anybody in the major leagues. He's got 45 bombs this year. Trey Turner, is top 20 player. Ketel Marte is probably not as good as previous years, but he's still having a decent season. He's still top 60 player. I think he missed some time with some injuries. Bellinger's had another great season. 26 bombs, has 84 singles and 23 doubles. And 5 triples, which is nothing to scoff at. William Contreras, I know, started out slow, but has turned it on as of late. Was really hot during that stretch. The Brewers, I think, won 11 straight or something like that. He's had a great season. And this guy right here, Eugenio Suarez, wow, that's a tough one to say. But 42 bombs on the year. I mean, came out of nowhere. He's not going to hit for average, but 42 bombs is impressive. That's crazy. But then you also have James Wood, who's also been really good this year, and along with Pete Crow Armstrong, who's had a breakout season as well. So that being said, I mean, he's got the boppers, in my opinion. This team should not be the 4 seed. They, in my opinion, probably are the second best team to Torbeck, and a team that I fully expect to make a run at the championship. But as I said, it just takes one bad week, and you can be packing your bags and done with the season at this point. All right, moving on to Mike Vick's Dogs. This season, and done a great job on the waiver wire. I will definitely, after the season, there will be awards given out, and this guy right here may be up for Manager of the Year. Ellie De La Cruz, having a good season. The homers have not necessarily been there, but he's still been patient at the plate. 55 walks, almost 100 singles. He's had a great year, really, and he stayed healthy. Brent Rooker is a top 10 player. Pretty crazy to say that, but he's had a great season. 27 homers, 81 singles, 34 doubles. Very impressive season. And then another huge breakout is Junior Caminario for the Rays. I mean, almost 40 bombs. This guy is a phenom. I think he's only like 22 years old or 23 years old. Very talented young hitter. And Gunnar Henderson here, I mean, hasn't had the best season, but has still been consistent, getting points every night. And yeah, we kind of look here. I mean, he's just deep. This is a deep team. Miguel Garcia is having a randomly great season. This team isn't necessarily he has the boppers of Caminero and Rooker, in my opinion, but he kind of, I guess Taylor Ward does have 30, but I know he's day to day. And Bush has had a nice season with 26 bombs, but he doesn't really have a true bopper besides Caminero. But he's just got a bunch of guys that have had a good season. average wise and also have enough pop to make him dangerous. And I think he's caught some teams off guard. He caught me off guard from where I had him to start the season. Um, but he's done a great job managing this team. So props to him. And this is a team, I think probably the 3-4 team should be going into the playoffs. And wouldn't be surprised to see this team, make it to a championship and, definitely as an underdog. Wouldn't expect this team to win, but, I think if Caminero has a huge week in the playoffs and he can get back in this with Michael, I think that this team has as good a chance as any to win a championship. Would probably, like I said, be an underdog going into it, but I'm sure Ryan loves that opportunity to have nothing to lose and go for it. So great job this year by Ryan. And the number 2 team, we have to talk a little bit about this team because, well, the guy right up top here, Cal Raleigh, having an insane season. A number 4 player in fantasy in our league has 50 homers. Has been kind of the talk of Major League Baseball this year, breaking, I believe, the home run record by catchers. This is a guy I did not expect to have the year he did. I figured he'd hit 30 bombs like he always does, but he has become a different player, different level of player. And that's really been kind of the anchor for this team. Bobby Witt has been good as well, a top 10 player in the league. But really beyond that, he got Acuna back late. Acuna's been really good. He's hit 15 homers in his time. Wyatt Langford having a decent season. Ian Happ having a decent season as well. And Jackson Holiday has been decent. I know Churio has definitely been a guy that he has played and has been a good player this year. So, yeah, I don't really know what to say about this team. I think it's really streaky. And, he's dealt with a lot of injuries this year. I can't remember who was all on his team throughout the season. But he, at one point, I believe, I think his whole entire bench was hurt. But if Kyle Raleigh can get hot here going into September, this team could be dangerous. And Bobby Witt and Ronald Acuna Jr. I mean, those top 3 are as good as any in the league. I could see this team. They're obviously got the bye. I could see this team. Obviously making it to the championship when you don't even have to face somebody in the first week of the playoffs. It's definitely sets up well for you. So Parker, nice season. Did not expect this team to be there. Definitely had some surprises on this team, and it's worked out for him. And the number 1 team, the Turbo Turds. This team has been very solid all year. We'll kind of look here. Aaron Judge clearly been the top player. I know at one point there's talk of him hitting, 400 this year. That obviously hasn't happened, but he still hit 43 bombs. I mean, this team is filled with boppers. Shea Langolier's had a great season so far. He's hit 30 bombs. Pete Alonso, 30 bombs. Julio's had a bounce back year. He looked really good, been a top 20 player. Matt Olson as well has been really good. The walk numbers have been great, along with, the ability to just get on base. He's got 85 singles on the year. And, looking down this lineup, I mean, even his bench is really solid. Bo Bichette's had a really nice season. And Perdomo has been solid as well. This team is a team to beat. Everybody knows it going in here. I think Torbeck even knows it. This team, with Judge, Alonso, Olson, Rodriguez, and, even Byron Buxton hasn't missed a ton of time. He's almost hit 30 bombs this year. This team is definitely the team to beat. They got the round 1 bye. Whoever faces them is going to have the toughest challenge because, Judge is Judge. He could, have a 4-homer game. He could hit 5 bombs in a week. Anything could happen with him. I think the sky is the limit for this team, and going into the playoffs, definitely the scariest team here. Beyond that, I don't really think I have too much else to say. I will have awards as the season goes on, and I probably will just do. Yeah, I don't really have a rankings this week because we're half the teams are done already. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how this playoff shakes out. Um, like I said, I think Torbeck's the team to beat, and teams like Parker, um, Cole, and Michael kind of all have things to prove here going into the playoffs. I think that those teams can compete and have the guys that compete with Torbeck, but Torbeck's definitely the guy that we're gonna have to somebody's gonna have to knock off. But other than that, I don't have much to say, and I'll get this posted to the Discord so you guys can watch it, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks. Peace.